Alright, y'all, today's story is one of those little celebrity moments that has the internet both laughing and talking about money in the same breath. And you know we love when those two things mix. So here's what went down. You've got GloRilla, breakout rapper, CMG's own, the girl who's been dropping bankers left and right, living her best life in designer fits and at the top of the charts. And then you've got Yo Gotti, Memphis rap legend, businessman, label boss, and a man who's no stranger to a luxury lifestyle. Now, these two have always had a playful, big brother, little sister vibe. They hype each other up, they joke, they celebrate wins together. But apparently, Glo decided to test just how deep that CMG family love goes. Because recently, she asked Yo Gotti for something that, honestly, you either have to be really bold to ask for, or just in a joking mood. And that something wasn't a call-up, wasn't a new car, wasn't even some tour perks. Nope, she asked for his credit card. As in, hand it over, I'm taking it with me, don't worry, I'll bring it back. And the way Yo Gotti responded, woo. Let's just say he did not hesitate to shut that down. But it's not just the fact that he said no, it's the way the whole thing played out that's making this such a funny, shareable moment. So grab your snacks, because we're about to break down how GloRilla tried to secure the bag, literally, and why Yo Gotti made sure that card stayed in his pocket. So picture this, they're chilling, maybe after a CMG event, maybe at a studio session, maybe even just backstage somewhere. Glo's feeling good, probably cracking jokes, and in that confident, no-filter way she's known for, she hits him with a line. Yo, Gotti, let me hold your credit card for a minute. I'ma bring it back, I swear. Now, you and I both know, nobody ever borrows a credit card for a minute. That's not a quick little swipe at the gas station. That's the kind of request that says, I've got plans. And if you know Glo, you know she's got expensive taste. We're talking designer bags, iced out jewelry, statement outfits, the whole nine. So when she says she's bringing it back, you already know there's gonna be a receipt the length of a CVS receipt, and the total's gonna make your eyes water. But here's the thing, this wasn't said in some super serious business meeting tone. Glo was clearly having fun with it, maybe even trolling a little bit. And that's part of why this works as a story. It's two friends in the industry messing with each other. Still, it's a bold ask. Most people would never even think to say it out loud, let alone to their label boss, who is also a multi-millionaire businessman with a reputation for being smart about his money. And here comes Yo Gotti's response, quick, firm, and with that classic big brother energy. From what people in the room have said, he didn't even hesitate. He looked right at her and basically said, nah, you got your own bag. I'm gonna keep my card right here in my pocket. It wasn't mean, it wasn't rude. It was that playful but serious tone that says, I love you, but I know better. Because let's be real, Gotti has been in the game long enough to know that giving your credit card to someone, even someone you trust, is basically asking for trouble. And not because they do something shady, but because spending limits mean nothing when you're living that celebrity lifestyle. Think about it, if you're GloRilla and you've got Yo Gotti's card, are you really just buying a coffee and calling it a day? No, you're probably hitting up Saks Fifth Avenue, maybe booking a spontaneous trip, maybe grabbing some jewelry that just happened to catch your eye. And Gotti, being the seasoned vet he is, wasn't about to put himself in that position. Of course, when this little moment made its way to the internet, fans had a field day. The comments were pure comedy. One person wrote, Gotti knows better. Glo would come back with a Birkin, 3 PS5s, and a new apartment lease. Another said, she's bold for even asking. But honestly, I respect the hustle. And then there was my personal favorite. If my boss was worth $100 million, I'd ask to. Shoot your shot, sis, and you know what? That's facts. Sometimes you just gotta throw it out there and see what happens. Worst case scenario, you get a laugh. Best case scenario, you're walking out with a limitless card and a whole new wardrobe. But here's the thing. The internet also started debating whether Glo was actually serious or if she was just joking around. Some fans said she probably had zero intention of actually using it and was just trolling him for the reaction. Others swore she was dead serious and just got shut down quick. Either way, the fact that people are even discussing this shows how much personality GloRilla brings to the table. She's not afraid to have those bold, funny moments that make her feel relatable and larger than life at the same time. What makes this little exchange such a great moment isn't just the punchline. It's what it says about their dynamic. GloRilla might be signed to Yo Gotti, but this wasn't a boss talking to employee moment. This was more like a big brother talking to his little sister, knowing she's got her own money, but also knowing she'd probably have way too much fun if she got her hands on his card. And let's not forget, Glo's doing fine financially. She's got platinum records, tours, endorsement deals. She's not hurting for cash, which makes it clear this was more about the joke than the actual need for a credit card. Still, it's also a subtle nod to how Gotti runs his business. He's generous, sure, but he's also smart. He didn't get to where he is by handing out open credit lines just because someone asked with a smile. It also humanizes both of them. We're used to seeing rappers in serious business meetings, flashy videos, and carefully curated Instagram posts. But this is just two people clowning around, caught in a lighthearted moment. And sometimes, those little glimpses are what fans love the most. Here's where things get even funnier. Fans started flipping the script and imagining what would have happened if Gotti had said yes. People were posting memes of Glo in head-to-toe designer, pulling up in a brand new Lamborghini and walking out of Tiffany & Co. with a handful of diamond bracelets. Others joked that she would have flown to another country just to use the card somewhere exotic. One TikTok skit even had someone playing Glo walking into a store like, "Put it on the card, Yo Gotti's paying." Then it cut to Gotti at home, getting the text alert. $48,000 charged a channel. The caption, "And that was just Monday." It's all in good fun, of course, but it shows how quickly a small moment can snowball into a whole online conversation. What started as a playful ask between two artists turned into a viral meme trend. And that's just the way the internet works now. However, a while back, way before this credit card joke story, before the viral memes, before all of that, Angela and Yo Gotti were having one of those private, real talk conversations. The kind you have when you care about someone and you want to make sure they're surrounded by the right people. During that conversation, sources say Angela brought up GloRilla. At the time, Glo was blowing up fast. She was getting a lot of attention, scoring features, and making headlines. But she was also enjoying her success, rocking expensive fits, traveling, and living that luxury lifestyle. According to the rumor, Angela looked at all that and told Gotti something along the lines of, "You just need to be careful." She might be after the lifestyle more than the loyalty. Now let's pause here. That's not a light thing to say. Calling someone a gold digger, even indirectly, can change how people view them. And when you say it to someone who's both the label boss and your partner, that's even bigger. It puts a certain lens on every interaction that comes after. Here's the thing. Angela Simmons is a businesswoman. She's been in the public eye her entire life, from Run's House to her fashion and beauty ventures. She's seen people come into celebrity circles for the wrong reasons. So it's not wild to think she'd be protective over someone she cares about, especially Yo Gotti. From her perspective, Glo's rise could have looked fast and flashy. And in the entertainment world, fast and flashy often comes with people who know how to work connections for personal gain. Angela may have simply been reading the room in her own way and giving Gotti a heads up. It's worth noting, Angela and GloRilla aren't known to have a close personal friendship. So Angela's impression may have been based on public image rather than private interactions. And that's where things can get tricky. Public image is a curated, often exaggerated version of reality, especially in hip-hop where flex culture is part of the brand. If you only go off of that, it's easy to jump to conclusions. So, how did Yo Gotti supposedly take this information? Well, we don't have a transcript of their conversation, but the rumor is that he listened and filed it away. Gotti's no stranger to money talk, contracts, and people trying to finesse situations. He's a veteran in the industry. He's also been publicly supportive of Glo from day one, signing her to CMG, putting her on big stages, and giving her access to industry connections. If Angela's comment influenced him at all, it doesn't seem like it slowed down Glo's career moves. But there's a difference between public support and private caution. It's possible Gotti kept his guard just a little higher, maybe kept financial boundaries tighter, maybe made sure any big money moves were handled strictly through business channels. And if you think about that recent credit card joke where he instantly shut her down, it does make you wonder if that gold digger comment from Angela was in the back of his mind. Let's talk about that term, gold digger. It's a loaded one. In the entertainment industry, women in particular get hit with it all the time. Sometimes it's fair. Sometimes it's just an easy way to discredit someone's ambition. In Glo's case, her come-up was built on music. She had a viral hit, she leveraged that into deals, and she's been working. But she also lives in a world where luxury brands and high-priced lifestyles are part of the culture. So when someone like Angela, who's more conservative in her public image, sees that, she might interpret it differently than fans who understand that flexing is part of the rap game. The problem is, once a label like that sticks, it can follow someone for years, even if it's based on nothing but perception. And if Gotti took Angela's words to heart, it could have subtly influenced his trust level with Glo in financial or personal contexts. When this rumor about Angela's warnings started circulating, fans were split. Some were like, Angela's just looking out for her man, nothing wrong with that. Others felt like it was shady and unnecessary, especially since Glo hasn't publicly done anything to suggest she's targeting Gotti's money. There were also fans who brought up that infamous credit card story as proof Angela was right. See, she tried to get his card. That's what Angela was talking about, one person commented. But others pushed back, saying the credit card moment was clearly a joke and people were blowing it out of proportion. The most interesting part? GloRilla hasn't addressed the gold digger rumor directly. She's been moving forward with music, touring, and posting her usual mix of glamorous and goofy content online. Which could mean she's not worried about it, or it could mean she doesn't want to give the rumor oxygen. There's also the layer of industry politics here. Labels are like families, but they're also businesses. When someone in the circle drops a comment like, she's a gold digger, even privately, it can change the dynamics. If Angela really said this, it might have caused subtle shifts. Maybe Gotti kept certain boundaries. Maybe other artists picked up on a bit of tension. Maybe it even influenced how certain opportunities were handled. Or maybe it was just a passing comment that Gotti didn't take too seriously. But make no mistake, in entertainment, perception is currency. And if a powerful person's partner thinks you're not genuine, that perception can spread quietly through back-channel conversations. That's why even the hint of this rumor has fans debating whether it was fair for Angela to say anything at all. So why are we hearing about this now if it supposedly happened a long time ago? Well, timing is everything. Glo's name has been in the mix recently because of that credit card moment, and Angela and Gotti have been in the public eye more with relationship milestones. When you've got two overlapping storylines, the old whispers start to get recycled. It's also possible that someone in the industry who knew about Angela's comment decided to spill now because it would get more attention. Gossip works like that. People wait until the perfect moment to drop the tea so it hits harder. So that's the alleged story. Angela Simmons supposedly warned Yo Gotti a long time ago that GloRilla might be a gold digger. Whether it was protective advice, a misread of her personality, or just industry chatter that's been twisted over time, it's definitely stirred up a conversation about money, trust, and image in the music game. At the end of the day, Gotti is still working with Glo, Glo is still thriving, and Angela and Gotti are still together. So maybe the comment, if it happened, didn't have much real impact. Or maybe it shaped little moments in ways we'll never see. Now, if we want to get a little more serious for a second, there's actually a bigger takeaway here. This is a perfect example of boundaries in business relationships. Even though they're close, even though they work together, there's still a line that Gotti's not willing to cross. And that's letting anyone have open access to his money. And honestly, that's smart. A lot of times in the music industry, we hear horror stories about money being mismanaged, artists getting taken advantage of, or friendships falling apart over financial misunderstandings. Gotti's been in the game too long to make those kinds of mistakes. And Glo, for her part, clearly didn't take it personally. She's got her own success, her own brand, and she's doing just fine without his card. Even if it would have been funny to see what happened if she'd gotten it. So there you have it. The story of how GloRilla tried to score Yo Gotti's credit card and got shut down in record time. Was she serious? Was it all a joke? We may never know for sure. But what we do know is that it gave us a hilarious glimpse into their dynamic and sparked some of the funniest memes we've seen in a minute. Now, I want to know what you think. If Yo Gotti had actually handed over the card, how much damage do you think Glo would have done in 24 hours? Would she have gone for luxury bags, cars, jewelry, or just bought the most over-the-top vacation package she could find? Drop your predictions in the comments, hit that like button if this story gave you a laugh, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next round of celebrity tea. Turn on those post notifications too, because I've got more stories coming that you will not want to miss. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.